What's up guys, this is my LS E36 build and I've been doing some TikTok posts on it and it's done a decent job growing, but a lot of people have asked for a more informational YouTube walk around. So I just want to let you know where I'm at and kind of the plans of the car, and if you guys want to do it yourselves, kind of what it takes. So as you can see, I have a full tubular front end, and that's not necessary to fit the LS. It's just, I got this car from my friend after it got wrecked. The shock tower here was like pushed back to there. It was more crunched up than I thought, but the frame rails were straight. So I went ahead and cut this side off first, cut it down there and cut at the firewall. And I machined these two out of 4140 billet chunk. It's like 2.5 hour run time each on the live tool lathe. And then I got these tubes bent in the plate and kind of tacked everything up together on this side. I used this strut tower brace with a fixed angle, and I measured from these 3 holes to the hood hinge bolts over there. And I actually got the measurements from here, so the good side to this hood hinge, kind of at a cross angle, as well as straight on, and then I kind of replicated it over here, and that got me in my decent area. I put a level on this, put a level on the ground, made sure everything was about the right height. I'm sure it's not perfect, and this is my first car at this kind of level, so I'm sure it's not perfect, but hopefully it's close enough. And then once I did that, I tacked this side together. I cut off this side, replicated it, and so far it looks pretty dang good. The car is a 99 323 IS. It has an M3 rear end, axles, diff, LSD, all that stuff. So that's pretty nice. And it's got M3 interior with some cool Recaros, but I think I'm gonna try and do like a modern build on the inside. I'm gonna try, hopefully, to do M4 seats, an M4 steering wheel, Apple CarPlay, little screen, but like OEM plus, just a little bit modernized. But the goal for the LS swap even is full interior, full heat, full air conditioning, dash working like normal. Basically want it to be a normal streetable car that you wouldn't really tell besides the noise, but it would drive hopefully like normal. The engine is a LM7 5.3 liter iron block with a T56 transmission mated to it. I have an LS6 intake. I went with this one because I guess it's like the highest flowing cathedral port that stays under the strut tower brace. Besides the LSXR 102, but that's like a $1,200 intake. I'm not there yet. I'd eventually like to do that, the throttle body and ICE fuel rails, but that's future. For accessories, it is F-body LS1 set. I've kind of just pieced it together, a lot of ICT brackets, and then some basic parts over here. I have the belt, but I don't want to put the belt on yet because the power steering isn't hooked up and I don't want to run it while it's dry. I just machined this little part here, 3D printed that. I need to machine that. That's going to bolt like that as a little nice clean throttle mount. So I can hook up that to the throttle body. It's hooked up to the pedal through there. Obviously, I don't have brakes. I don't have a clutch, anything yet. So that's the next big step before I can drive it. I also need a custom drive shaft. As for pieces to make, I have all my wiring tucked under there. This plate kind of bolts to there and acts like a clean bulkhead. I need to machine that out of aluminum. That's just a 3D printed prototype. Same thing going on over here. I 3D printed this battery mount, super clean. I'll eventually need to machine that out of aluminum. It's just prototyping a whole bunch of parts. Down here is where I have the water pump. So this is one of the main lines that goes all the way to the firewall. For the other two that comes off of this, most people run the dual, which is the stock E36 one, but I found this Z3 one, which is a little bit bigger, but it's single. It gets rid of your dual climate control. I'm not too worried about that, and for me, it's worth it to clean it up. So my goal is to put that double port one, so this forward to the bottom port, and then out of the top port, a single hose in line with this, all the way up behind. It'll Y at the very end and go into the 2 ports on the firewall. That way I still have heat, it just won't be dual zone, but it'll be a lot cleaner hose-wise. And then eventually I'll add air conditioning under here with like one of those mini Sanson compressors. As for the engine itself, like I said, it's a 5.3 liter LM7. It doesn't really have anything fancy. It's a Gen 3, all kind of redone in the inside. Fresh rings and cleaned up and machined and everything, but still stock. I have a BTR NA stage 4 cam, so it sounds great. I have a little bit of head work done, not actual head work, but just the internals of it are all like the 660 titanium springs, super nice internals. Besides that, I have the CX Racing headers. I kind of just needed something tight to the block. They clear good on that side. This side's a little close because of my base plate's here. That header, I dented it around it a little bit. There is a little bit of clearance, kind of hard to see on camera, but we'll see if that ends up being enough, or if I need to dent it a little bit more. I want to do the dual threes to an X pipe in the middle, and then dual threes all the way back. And then I have the Valvetronic electric, or I guess they're vacuum powered mufflers. I want to do 1-in-1 to basically quad tips, kind of like the new M4 style. And so far into the car, especially with all the body panels I have here, new headlights and everything, I'm still working on getting this all mounted up. I'm about $13,000 into the car, including the car itself, which I got for $1,500, and it's still clean title, which is pretty cool. I bet I have another 7 or 8 just because of what I want to do. I want to do the Pandem wide body kit, and then I want to machine some custom 3-piece wheels. I want to do some Arc 8 looking wheels because I really like the Apex Arc 8, but do them on a BBS lip and barrel and just machine the faces. So they'll be like 18 by 9.5 and 18 by 12 or something crazy for the Pandem kit. I'll probably keep it on the coilovers it's on because it has really nice, forget the brand, but they're really nice, ORT I guess, with Swift spring coilovers. I might eventually do air suspension. I like the Airlift 3P on my 1 Series that I had, but I don't really know. It can't go too much lower than this just because of that main bar. So it can't be like a slammed car. But I think a track style fitment on the Pandem kit would be pretty cool because most of those are stance cars. So something a little bit different. And as for the color, I want to wrap it pearl white, kind of like my M240's color. Pearl white, I want to do black M4 interior. So it'll be kind of modernized in there. And yeah, nothing too crazy. I'll probably have 2 hoods. I'll probably do a full hood, and then I'll do one of those quarter hoods that kind of stops like here, cuts, covers all the front accessories, but you can still just see the tubes and the LS and everything. So I don't have to pop the hood it shows. I can just leave on that nose panel to cover all the ugly stuff. But besides that, the next thing I really need to do is get the drive shaft, the clutch stuff, and the brakes. I'm gonna do a little Willwood master cylinder on the pedal assembly, and then that'll go down to the slave cylinder on the transmission. That's easy. For the brakes, I'm gonna do the Chase Bay's dual reservoir, the brake booster delete, because it's by far the nicest on the market for this E36. It'll bolt here, dual reservoir, come down, the stock rear brake lines can go bolt into it, and then I'll do all new front lines. I'm currently just running the stock radiator. I want to stick with this style no matter what. I might have to go up to that CSF style, or the CSF E36 style radiator if I need a little bit more cooling, but I like how it mounts here like OEM. I'll do an upper to the upper, and then a lower from the thermostat down to the lower. Super simple. I'm just gonna have a inline filler neck with a cap on it, with probably like a 16-pound spring, to where if it overheats, it'll just drop into a external reservoir. I won't actually have an expansion tank, just trying to keep it clean, simple, and as minimalist as I can. So far, I've had the car for about 10 months. Pretty long project, a little bit crazier than I intended it to be. But at this point, I kind of rather just take my time, do it right, do it once, and not have to basically have the car running and then tear it all down again. As we go into winter time, the goal is to get it running, driving on the road by probably the end of October, and then figure out the little details, and then start to work on the body, the wide body, the wheels, the wrap, all that stuff, the window seals I need to redo, the window trim. So all the windows will come out when that's done. And then after that, button the looks of it together, start working on the interior, add air conditioning into it, kind of just dial it in for next year. The goal is to have it pretty much completed by next summer. That way I can take to all the shows and take it on drives and have it be dialed in. But thanks for watching. I'll try and post some update videos as I do stuff. If you're interested in just some quick videos, I post all this stuff on TikTok. But I'm gonna try and post a little bit more informational videos here, just because I know like a lot of people like the technical information on it, but it's tough to video. I get so distracted in the work and I just start doing stuff, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I should have videoed that. But see ya.